So I was a professor of neuroscience at the University of California, and then made a move to industry about 14 years ago with the hope of impacting millions of people's lives, because we don't have medical solutions for most of the major neurological diseases, major depression, and those are the things we're working on with the increased stress in life. We recognize how important it is to come up with new medicines to treat psychiatric disease. Historically, especially psychiatric diseases, schizophrenia and depression, autism have been ascribed as problems of the brain, of experience, and that's partly true, but we're reminded these are highly genetic diseases. That is, they're inherited, and if you have, for example, an identical twin, your chances of sharing schizophrenia or depression with that twin are much higher than the normal population. Not 100%, but highly heritable, such that these are biological problems, and that encourages us that with the right medicines, as we understand what's wrong with the brain, that we can help these people. Neurological and psychiatric diseases are more hereditary than most other diseases. They're more hereditary than heart disease, they're more hereditary than cancer. Generally, we say that between 50 and 80% of your likelihood of getting these diseases are determined at birth. Now, that leaves 50 or so percent that can be influenced by the environment, and we know that medicines can be helpful for some people with these problems. Unfortunately, psychiatric diseases, we don't have curative treatments for any of them. Certainly certain diseases like cancer, if the tumor is removed, then the person can be cured. And there's certainly infectious diseases where you take the proper antibiotics and you're cured. But unfortunately, psychiatric diseases, we have medicines that can reduce the symptoms, but people will always have those problems. Well, certainly psychiatric disease is not a destiny that you have. People, especially with strong support, both pharmacological, but also having a good environment and a positive attitude can help people with those conditions, such that either the disease never manifests or they can have a good course. Life is an intersection between both your genes and your experiences, and that a combination of your nature and nurture. So you have to keep a positive attitude and make sure that you're taking care of problems that may have been part of you, and you have to compensate accordingly. Well, there's a lot of work on neural networks and ways of designing computers that can simulate the way the brain functions. And that's been helpful to make better computers, but it really hasn't helped understand how the brain works. It's still the biggest mystery there is, and so this makes it especially hard to come up with new medicines. We are making progress with imaging and genetics, but the idea of what creates consciousness is still a great mystery for us.